The second part of static electricity is charging by contact. I've got a little story here. Again, hopefully you've read it. But in those good old days where we had a lot of kids in classrooms, uh, if we opened up a space, kids would naturally drift out of the space into the new space. That's kind of like charging by contact if we started off with something negative. So let's say we had a negative object. Negative means it's got extra electrons in it. And let's say we have a neutral object. Neutral means that for every electron there's a positive. So I could show the negatives and the positives, or I could just leave an empty circle to sort of show what's happening. If I bring these objects close enough together so that they touch, that's kind of like opening the classroom door. These negatives, they don't really like each other. So when we make contact, some of them are going to move into the new material, the new object. How many move kind of depends on how big the new object is and things like that. But at the end of it all, the original negative object, some of them will have left and gone into the neutral object. So we end up with both of them being negative. We've given those negatives that wanted to get away from each other an escape route. Or if we start off with a positive, let's try this with positives. If I start off with a positive object, that means it's missing negatives. Something has happened to pull negatives out of it. It's now positive. If we have a neutral object, when we bring them together so that they're in contact, what drives this is always that law of opposites attract, similars repel. There were a bunch of positives over here. The negatives in this object are going to want to leave here and go over there. The negatives are free to move, so they literally move around. A bunch of negatives move into the one on the left, so it's not quite as positive as it was before. The one on the right, negatives left it, making it a little bit positive. So the negatives leave the neutral one, which makes the neutral one positive, and they kind of cancel out some of the positiveness of the positive one, but not all of it. So the original positive stays positive. At the end of it all, we've got both of them being positive. That's a quick talk through charging by contact. The key is they both end up with the same charge.